Good day, everyone. Welcome to the episode of the new episode of Digital Ag Global, and we're very happy that this is our second season, just starting. We finished 12 episodes last year, and now we're starting a run for another 12 seasons. I'm Clyde Graham, co-host of the podcast. I'm an agribusiness consultant with Keystone Solutions. And I'll be trying to keep things on track during the conversation today. If you've been with us throughout the first season at all, you'll know that one of the most important issues that we dealt with was artificial intelligence. And so we're extremely pleased to continue that discussion today with Maryna Kuzmenko, who's the CEO of Petiole. Maryna is coming to us today from Cambridgeshire in the UK. And we're hoping, and we know that she'll be able to deliver a lot of interesting insight and some case studies in the application of artificial intelligence to the agricultural sector. But before we turn over to Maryna, I'd like to turn the podium over to Yurii Kovalchuk, the CEO of Cultivate, for a few comments. Go ahead, Yurii.
Yep, thank you, Clyde. Welcome back to season 2 of Digital Ag Global. And today we're gonna expand on a topic of AI in agriculture. We've been talking about AI for a few episodes already. We've talked about generic use cases, what it brings to agri-food innovations, but today we're gonna kind of drill down on examples of how it can be used, how it works, and what benefit it can bring in a different part of agricultural value chain. Guys, we'll introduce Maryna properly just in a minute, but I want to remind everyone that Digital Ag Global as a podcast, as a platform for agri innovations, offer partnership packages. So if you want to become a part of a network, if you want to get access to speaker opportunities, if you want to get access to all the insights that we discuss throughout our episodes, feel free to drop us a line. It can be one-time partnership opportunities, or it can be an annual thing. Just let us know. With this said, Maryna, let's start the introduction. A lot of activities in agricultural sector, AI, and not only AI related. So please, stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this invitation, for the opportunity to speak today. And basically, I would like to start with these 3 roles which I am representing here today. So firstly, I am speaking as the co-founder of Petiole. We are the UK-based company, and we work in applied AI in agriculture. So, and you will see what we are doing basically during this hour. The second thing is about my kind of volunteering in education. So this is my passion, and when we have just started almost 10 years ago, I saw that there is some misunderstanding, some lack of knowledge, something which I would like to help with. So that's why I'm here as well to represent this AI in agriculture educational movement around the globe. And the third thing is about my still tiny, but it's existing, and it's so nice network of women in sustainable agriculture called Agfluencers. And that's why I would like to bring all these roles into this hour and speak with you on behalf of all these interesting positions which I have. So thank you so much.
Well, yeah, that's great. And I follow Maryna's blog posts and posts on LinkedIn, and I would encourage people to follow her as well, because she provides some really interesting information and insight into AI on an ongoing basis. So I guess the question that we'd like to deal with first with you is, I think you mentioned that you're working in applied artificial intelligence in agriculture. Maybe you could talk just a little bit about the difference between just artificial intelligence in agriculture and applied artificial intelligence in agriculture, because I think it's the application that a lot of people in our audience are looking for.
Thank
For
you
sure.
so much, Clyde.
For sure. Maryna,
Maybe-
let's start
Yes.
visual. Let's start visual, and I think it's gonna help our audience to grasp the whole idea of AI and the practical use cases.
Yes, and the main thing is difference between this, as I mentioned, applied and let's say non-applied AI. So a few months ago, I posted this post. I didn't put the text here, but it's all about what is real AI. And this visual, it was quite attractive to demonstrate the difference. So because if there is such a thing, let's say, public conscience and public mind, everyone expecting from AI to be wow, and that's why we see some not very pleasant feeling when people are just meeting with real use cases of applying this AI, and they think, oh, it's just something small, it's not so like that big wow which I know about. And that's why when I say about applied AI, I mean the not just one specific use case, I mean problem solving situation, but I am speaking about the collection of these use cases, and they are linked to each other. And as I will show in this presentation, which will be next, the goal is the final AI on level wow will appear when we'll cover all the use cases, all the small situations, small tasks which can be improved using artificial intelligence. And then we will be speaking about this real big and wide definition of artificial intelligence. But also what I want to mention that this abbreviation AI is quite sometimes accepted as negative because it's overused. It's a lot of different buzz, marketing buzz around this abbreviation. That's why in my case, I sometimes prefer to use like more calmer words like smart farming, smart technologies, like for agriculture, but not just to take hype of this AI and try to make it, but also to explain what's inside. And by the way, inside AI, it's a big umbrella which have inside just a few streams of technologies. And I don't want to go into every depth of each of them, but I want to show just two main practically and widely used, and I believe it will be easy to for everyone who is listening to us, looking at us, watching us. It will be easier to understand them because nowadays it's rare case to find a person who has never used LLMs, so large language models. And again, this is that effect of, especially first time, if you see them, you are just so excited to see how it can help you with generation of text or images or audio or whatever you are generating. And the second thing, which is practically applied, is about, and this is actually our area of direct work, it's about computer vision and deep learning. So answering your question a little bit shorter, Clyde, applied AI, it's about using, in our case, it's about using computer vision and deep learning for specific tasks of plant phenotyping and quality assurance of food produce.
Okay, got it. And we are having a little trouble with your feed, but I think we're catching everything. So please keep going.
Okay, thank you so much. So then, based on this, like a little bit theoretical part, I want to slowly go to practice and exactly to tell on specific problem-solving situations what AI means. And this is one of the examples of practical solutions on very early stage. Again, going back to our topic, we are speaking about practical application in orchards. And this is the photo from one of the orchard. And if you will look very attentively to the right-hand side of the screen, you can see the plant, it's kiwi plant, and small tiny yellow squares, it's the buds of kiwi plant, which has been automatically detected and counted. On the left-hand side, you can see the count. But basically, we need to start with the question, why do the person need to have it? Why do the farmer need to have this count? If you're just looking at plant and you can see it's growing, it's nice, but we are going to economic value of any farming activity. And economic value can be based on the numbers. And one of the numbers which are important for farmers to know is the possible yield, future yield, which is expected. And but at the same time, when you come to this orchard and kiwi plants, they are specific of kiwi plants, but it's not just for kiwi, for apples, for other crops. You always need to look above. You need to either take photos, and it takes hours sometimes. Just if you, not maybe hours, but at least 20 minutes, you need just to go and make this practical, physically not convenient movements. And then you just trying to understand how much do you have of them. And it's obviously possible to do manually. So you have collected this imagery, then you come back home or to the office and just try to count them. But the challenge is that, again, it takes lots of time and efforts. And this time and efforts can be spent to much more important things and much more even profitable things, not just to spend the hours for counting. And yes, the farmers, smallholder farmers, sometimes they have a special employee who is doing this counting. But again, the challenge is about the accuracy. And speaking about the accuracy, it's again a separate topic. It's probably not 1 hour, but many hours we can speak about that. But I mean, here is one of the first steps how AI can be applied in orchards to bring economic results, not just satisfy someone's interest. Oh, how many buds do I have? Because actually every bud means possibly a fruit. And by counting buds, it's possible to understand, and even not just understand, but to plan activities about future purchases, about future marketing, about future labor hiring. So it brings some freedom of activities, but without this number, it's not the same. Also, when we speak about the early stage, we can speak about the pruning. And again, this is a little bit not so easy task to do, but and again, when we are comparing the applied AI and theoretical AI, in this case is probably more theoretical than practical, because I took this research paper, I read it, and I was like, wow, it's so nice, because I know that many growers, especially, for example, apple growers, they asked me regarding this case, like, can I know, is it good to prune or not? And I said, okay, yes, there is technology which can help you. But on the other hand, the challenge is that this technology is developed, but on practical level, to be executed in full cycle, it requires at least robotic platform, which will not just do this analysis, but also will do the actions, actual pruning. And this is, again, a separate big story, because robotics is, it works, it exists, but it requires investment. So we will not touch the question of robotics today because of our focus on applied AI. And in my own work, I try to work with smallholder farmers, with small and medium enterprises, just to show them that yes, all this very expensive and innovative technologies exist, but there are also something for you. And that's why our Petiole is working specifically with this niche, with smallholder farmers who still have problems and they want to use AI for solving their problems. But they just need to have some guideline. Another point is about the next stage of orchard development growth, orchard growth, when and again it's all about economic value. So it's everything where AI is applied. It's not about just for fun, because obviously artificial intelligence exists in many areas of our life. I think one of the most advanced areas is fintech, because it's quite advanced level, and almost everyone is using all this online banking and other daily apps. Entertainment is just blooming with AI, but and it's all about not economic value when we speak about entertainment. But when we speak about applied AI in agriculture, it's all about some money which we can see or expect based on work of the AI. So next stage is about counting flowers or flower clusters depending on the crop. And again, the economic value here, and the problem is that counting the flowers is challenging. When you go to the orchard and just again, either you are taking photos using smartphone or tablet, or maybe you are recording the video using action camera or any type of video recorder. At the end of the day, you need to physically count these flowers. And sometimes they are blurred, sometimes you just already tired of counting like 20 or 40 minutes. So that's why it brings error. And that's why, again, it's all about the automation, when you can do the same counting and yield assessment on early stage based on the imagery. The next thing is demonstrating how we can smoothly go from counting flowers to the actual yield, which is expected. And this is also interesting because it demonstrates the continuation of this applied AI in orchard. And it demonstrated just one of the opportunities when you can start with buds and you can then finish on the stage when the fruits are on the trees, and you are already using the same row of data collection protocol. So you are doing the same things, like collecting the same videos on different time of the year, but the same plants, and you can build the understanding of how it develops. And again, it's about yield. So it's possible to see how the expected yield on the stage of buds is changing at the stage of fruits, and especially when we are assessing ripening as well. So it's possible to analyze and see the ripeness of fruits as one of the economic results of the activities. Going back to problems, one of the applied problem, again, it's when I was drafting this presentation, and again, following back to my newsletter in agriculture on LinkedIn. So I try to demonstrate the opportunities at all, what exists in the world, and just to bring some extra knowledge. So maybe tomorrow someone will create something based on this knowledge. But for today's presentation, I tried to demonstrate what practically possible and what is existing in orchard exactly now. So I didn't want to show just scientifically based opportunities. So one of the practical application is about the pest management, and specifically computer vision and deep learning is good at the tasks for pest count, pest identification. And in most cases, what we see that basically farmers they don't need identification at all, because they obviously know the main pests of their crops. But on the stage when we are doing the automatic automatic count on the yellow sticky paper in traps. We are speaking about the need for identification because, as for example, you can see on the right hand side of the screen, there are different species who were caught by the trap and by the sticky paper, and that's why there must be a separation between them, because obviously if we are focused on specific pest to understand the pest pressure, we should be very careful because basically, again, it's all about money. So there is a threshold of pest presence in the orchard, let's say. And then when you are doing this regular monitoring of the pests, you come to the trap, you take a photo, you analyze the number, and if the number is higher than threshold, that means you need to do something to apply some pesticides or to stop this wave to grow. And that's why if there is the accuracy of pest identification during the pest count is not high, it may bring false positive results, and as a result, it will bring extra money which will be spent and extra chemicals which will be spread, and it's not very ideal situation for the biodiversity as well. But also what I want to say that it's a very interesting trend now, not just to do this actual count and identification, and this is what I write today in our newsletter. It's a possibility to predict the pest outbreak, and it's one of the fresh research papers published by the dedicated research team from Greece. So they basically worked with greenhouse pests and black aphids, and the beauty of their research paper is that they done huge job because they manually labeled all the pests in their data set, but also they took not just the count as one of the critical aspects, but also they monitored the environment. And based on this monitoring, so for the monitoring of the environment, they applied machine learning algorithm. For the pest count and then the identification, they applied the deep learning algorithm, and altogether they were able to predict the pest outbreak in advance for 7 days. So this is one of the opportunities which are, let's say, attractive not just for greenhouses but for open field agriculture as well. And the other thing is that AI, if we are speaking about these technologies a few years ago, and when all these transformers appears like 2 or 3 years ago, it was still on the lower level, because now the complexity of algorithms as well as the analysis which is provided by these algorithms is growing in its size, in its scope. And this research paper which we analyzed today is just one of the examples how multi-layer information can be fused, and as a result we get this important insight for farmer. So 7 days, it's a huge number of a huge good time to predict, let's say. So everyone would like to know what will happen in 7 days. That's why it's just one of the interesting use cases. And in our own practice, it's Petiole, and what we can do on complex level. It's interesting situation when we had this request for grading, because the problem of smallholder farmers is that they don't have conveyor belts. They don't have huge of lots of machinery or even extra labor. It costs money, and they are counting every penny and every pound, because the revenue of smallholder farmers is not like revenue of just Jeff Bezos or someone like that cohort. So that's why they are trying to optimize, and at the same time they don't have too much opportunities to optimize in terms of buying stuff. But computer vision and deep learning can help. So in this case, we started, basically the algorithm was developed for potato, and just 1 second. So we participated in the hackathon. I know this, I'm sure you know what is hackathon, but just in case other people who are watching us don't know what is hackathon, it's just like a competition when you have a technical challenge and you provide your suggested solution. So we participated in the hackathon organized by the International Potato Center in Peru. And the challenge was to apply artificial intelligence for a specific task in potato production. And we selected the task of potato grading. So basically, when you have a pile of potatoes in front of you, currently the people are farmers and their employees are manually just looking at them. Okay, it's probably grade 2. I will put it over here, and this is grade 1. I will put it over here, and this is under grade. I will probably just leave it over here for my animals, something like that. But in fact, after 1 hour of doing this, it may decrease the quality of this gradient, human-centric gradient, let's say. And that's why we created this flow when taking a photo of potatoes with the calibrating plate allows to, first of all, to count them, secondly, to measure the diameter, and thirdly, to grade them. And the interesting point here is that potato is not perfectly circle, and it's in most cases it's oval or let's say not perfect circle. Yeah, my words are limited regarding explaining the shapes of potato, but I mean that to find the diameter of potato, it's a little bit tricky one, and that's why we developed this one of the algorithms which are measuring the size of potato in different perspectives, and then it's find the average, and this average actually is the diameter of potato. And this technology is already demonstrating the potential for so-called transfer learning. What is transfer learning? It's when the algorithm is developed for one specific use case, but due to existing similarities, like for shape or color or some other mutual criteria, which is similar for, let's say, some food produce, it's possible to apply the same algorithm for something similar. And here is exactly the transfer learning in action, because as I mentioned, for potato, it works perfectly fine. And now we applied it for apples, because as we discovered after conversation with apple farmers, they struggle with the same challenge. So they have harvested the apples and they need to understand the size. They don't like grades like we are speaking as potato growers, but they have still size issue. And the size issue is about how much money they will get based on the harvest. So again, we just tried this opportunity and it works. Also, we tried the same algorithm to work with onions. Again, shape is almost similar. We worked with even strawberries, and I will publish soon the results of this experiment. It's very interesting to demonstrate that not just everything which is oval, but everything which falls within the oval, something oval-ish shape, can be assessed. But obviously it requires extra customization if we speak about the production level of this algorithm. So as of now, I'm just demonstrating that it's possible to use for different use cases. With potato, yes, we have the full cycle accomplished, but with other crops, it's just possibility which exists on practical level. And then, yes, would you like to add anything, Clyde?
No, please go ahead.
Yes, because this, which I want to speak now, this aspect, it's very important in terms of overall work of AI and smart farming and all these advanced farming technologies about the quality of data and how the quality of data impacts the revenue of a farmer, let's say. So in this case, again, about apples, and we speak about the color of apples. But what we discovered that if most of the farmers, they don't have opportunity to buy very expensive cameras and do some photo of their produce in very laboratory manner. They just live their life and they have the smartphone, they can use it, snap a photo and analyze. But the challenge is that most of the smartphones, they are boosting the colors. So for example, if we saw there are some research papers which are trying to compare the colors, not just for apples, but for other crops, but the challenge is that these photos which are taken with different smartphones, even the same food produced, they provide the different level of color. And what we saw that there is a need to make the color uniform, and it requires an extra, let's say, lens and extra light to be applied to make it possible to have this uniformity of food produce, and only then it's possible to work and bring the assessment of color. So regarding the apples, why it's so important? Because, for example, if we speak about the most popular type of variety of apple, Gala, if the coloration is less than 40%, then the probability is low that it will be purchased at all. So that's why the farmers are interested to know how what is the percentage of coloration of their apples. And in this example, we are demonstrating how Petiole Pro, our mobile application, it already has it already includes the color indexes, and at least few of them clearly demonstrate the area where the apples are yellow and or green, let's say, or whatever, not red. It's possible to quantify this. And this means it's possible to, for a farmer, it's possible just to take these apples which are greener. They just taken them and they are not selling them for this main batch, but selling the better quality apples. And that means farmer can make better money based on his harvest. At the same time, I must say that it's not just for that you can take any photo and apply any index and it will show you. So all our outcomes are based on the research which we have done. So here you can see that all apples look the same. So there is no difference. And that's why we speak about a limited number. I returned back just to show you that in this case, especially, I don't remember the name of this index, but on the right-hand side index, it's very clearly to see the percentage of apple which is not red. But if you go back to these slides, you can see that they are pretty gray, and you cannot clarify for yourself what is green and what is red in terms of color, not segmentation, but color distribution. One more thing which is important regarding data. Yes, by the way, data, and in my course, which I have this course recorded at Udemy, we start with data because data is the blood, the fuel. I don't know how to express even more poetically, in poetic style, that the data is the core life of any AI algorithm. And that's why when we speak about good algorithms and possibility to generate value, it's only about having good data. And in this case, I wanted to show you the challenges also, because when we discussed with Yurii and Clyde about the possibility to have this discussion today, we spoke not just about like to demonstrate, showcase nice case studies, but also to highlight the challenges and existing problems. And one of the very good applications of unmanned aerial vehicles, particularly they are well known as drones, is in orchards, is counting again on that stage when it's already before harvest, especially just to understand the final count and understand the distribution of labor who needs to collect the harvest. At the same time, if you, I hope you can see still this slide, but the quality of imagery when you are collecting it from the drone, sometimes it's not as good, and sometimes it's blur, and additionally it can be, the fruits can be occluded by leaves or by each other. So that's why what we are asking when we are speaking with the farmer who is keen on to try artificial intelligence in his orchard, we are speaking about as many data streams as possible. So if the farmer would like to have the value, it's not just good to have the result, the map based on the drone flight, but also it's nice to have the ground truth data. It's also nice to have the side view data. So because it helps to increase the accuracy of all this counting and predictions. And also, yes, what I want to say again regarding this, on the stage when the harvest is almost ready and it's all about the final count, it's quite easy to identify because of the size of the fruits. But what we can see that for counting of flowers on the stage of flowering, it's pretty hard job, because for example in apples the flowers, they're in clusters, and if you are doing the monitoring using drone, either you are doing it with very expensive drone, then it's possible to have very high quality camera, good, and you get high quality data. But if you are using like medium priced, like average camera, it's just disappointment. And that's why my message is that if you wish to try to use these advanced technologies, you need to understand the limitations, that it's impossible to have like a smartphone which costs $100 and take a results out of these photos which will bring you $1 million. The same thing with drone. If you buy a drone for $250, you cannot expect the accuracy of the DJI, which costs 3,000 at least. So that's why to be humble in own expectations how AI can work within existing circumstances. And one more thing regarding cameras. So basically, the state of art, you can do a lot with RGB. So RGB imagery generated by this type of smartphones, tablets, and as I mentioned, action cameras. Interesting niche applications for near-infrared cameras, and also for those who can afford to buy hyperspectral camera. It's also a very good idea to have it, because you can do such an amazing thing like early stage detection of diseases, stresses, past presence, and a lot of things. I recommend you to go to the latest post of farming. They have published a very nice imagery and brief overview of the application of hyperspectral imagery in their greenhouses, and they demonstrated for strawberries. Yes, the only problem of this type of technologies is their price. So I hope that currently not just the United Kingdom, but all the developed countries, they invest into the development of new materials, of energy saving technologies, because if we will go through this limitation, which is price of the technologies, I'm sure we will have a good adoption, because people and farmers, they are ready to use technologies. They are hungry for technologies, but the challenge is about the price of technologies and affordability. And that's why Petiole exists. We are here to bring affordable technologies for farming. Oh, yes. Now I was not expecting this slide, but yes. Now I can tell you about our interesting use case, which we done for Innovate UK grant. And again, it's quite a deep one, because it's niche of apple scab pressure assessment. So just briefly, what is apple scab? Apple scab is if you have ever seen the apple and there are some black dots on the apple, it's apple scab. It's harmless for eating, so you can eat these apples with apple scab and nothing will happen. It's just the fungal disease of the apple tree. And but there is a challenge that economic value of apples with apple scab is decreased times and times less in comparison if you have the apples without apple scab. And also obviously it's not very good for the overall health of apple tree to have the scab. So that's why and yes, Gala is one of the, since it's, as I mentioned, is one of the most popular varieties, if not the top popular variety in the world of the apples, and is highly susceptible to apple scab. So it means that apple scab likes to live on Gala trees, and that's why apple scab is quite a hot topic in orchard farming, let's say in apple farming. And what is the challenge? The challenge is that apple scab, again, it's on fruit, but also it exists on leaves. And initial stage of leaf of apple scab existence is about leaves. So basically, you can see look at leaf, and if you see the dots, it means the apple scab is present. And most of the growers, they are doing spraying and preventive spraying and regular spraying just to avoid any presence of apple scab, but in most cases it's present. And the challenge of presence of apple scab is to assess the percentage. So how much, how big is the pressure on the leaf and overall on the plant, because based on the leaf pressure, disease pressure, we can assess the pressure on all the plant. So our task, since we worked with leaves and since 2014, our Petiole is actually well known for this. We have more than 100 research papers which have cited our mobile application because of leaf area. We decided to dive into this challenge of quantifying the disease pressure on of apple scab on the leaf. And shall I show? Oh yes, and this is just one of the challenges in visual, in one photo. So if you have the apple scab on leaf and you are not doing anything, it's just growing, and on some stage it will be just disaster. And that's why when the spraying is conducted, there is a need to understand, was it effective or was it not effective? How quickly is are these lesions are growing, especially understanding that different environmental condition, different weather condition impact the speed of growth of these stains on the leaves. So that's why we have created our model, which works specifically with quantification of apple scab on apple leaf. And so basically it was a quite short project, 6 months feasibility study project, and we are glad that it's possible and we have done it. So what we have done, on the left hand side you can see the leaf taken from the orchard, and on the right hand side you can see the percentage, and those two red dots, it's actually the presence of apple scab, but we not just detected it on the overall area of leaf, but we also measured it in square centimeters. And we overall counted, because again, square centimeters is good, but the farmer, when he's looking, he's just not, okay, 0.5 square centimeters. Is it big or small? It doesn't mean anything for farmer, just pure numbers. So the farmer is looking for valuable analytics. And in this case, the percentage is the valuable insight which is required by farmers. So because sometimes, and this is one of the things which I see in analytical services. They are providing so much information that you are just drawn in it. You just have so many numbers, and sometimes you need to spend hours to understand what do I really can extract from these numbers. That's why clarification of the result is a percentage of disease pressure on the specific plant. And yes, we are speaking about the constant monitoring. So traditionally, you have the square in the orchard, and you just go to the same tree on regular basis and just measuring, in ideal case, the same leaf, but in applicable case, the same tree at least. Yes, and this is all from me because I understand it's quite a long monologue. So yes, I hope at least we can just continue it in dialogue now.
Well, that's great. Thanks for sharing all of that, Maryna. And I'm obviously impressed at how thoughtful all this is in terms of real results for farmers and the marketing of produce, et cetera. It's such an important new and growing sector because everybody's looking for fresh fruits and vegetables around the world. Yurii, do you want to throw some of your insights in from what you've heard?
For sure. First of all, Maryna, thank you for a great presentation. To our audience, we promised you some practical use cases of AI technology in agriculture. Here you go. Examples, photos, analytics of computer vision and deep learning technologies that helps farmers to detect their crop, count their crop, and grade their crop. And that's actually something where my next question comes from. Computer vision as a part of AI has a lot of practical use cases, and that's not all. There are a lot more. You can use artificial intelligence, specifically computer vision for spot spraying, for variable rate technology, and so on. The question I have, Maryna, what do you there is some?
Yeah.
Oh, you disappearing, Yurii? Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, we'll that's great. I think we're still getting some feedback from that. All right. Yeah. So, meanwhile, Yurii takes a look at that. I think I think you touched on some of the challenges, but what do you see as the key challenges in this area? I thought it was very interesting when you talked about the critical importance of data, and you were asking about something poetic. And I think I've always heard the phrase by engineers on data is that garbage in, garbage out. And I mean, if you don't have good data going in, your analysis is going to be not very helpful as well. But I mean, generally, what do you see as the biggest challenges out there in really fully applying this? You talked about economics and things like that.
Yeah, it's quite a serious question, Yes, I think that quite. Oh, I know. I will touch the question of ethics, because yes, data is about technologies and technological side, and again, this question of ethics is still linked to data. But what I see that as of now, we need also to speak with farmers and say that since you are owners of your orchards, you are generating this data, you are owners of this data, and you need to understand how your data is used on further pipeline of these all AI stages. So because sometimes, especially I see this between the relationship of the companies from developing countries and developed countries. The countries from the companies from developed countries, they come to, let's say, South America or Africa or Southeast Asia, where the farmers keen on to try technologies, and they just take their data and they are building their solution, they are training their models based on this data, and then they are selling the same solution to other companies which are working in the same sector as this work. And this is quite, again, this philosophical word unfair, because if the farmer contributed to the success of some specific model development, speaking frankly, it has to be some payment for this, that the company has trained the model based on this data. And for example, in our company, when we're speaking about the development of solution for customer, first of all, we speak about the confidentiality of this data, and second thing is about what does farmer want to do next with this data. Does he allow us to work with this on global basis, or he wants to keep it only with him? So these are the aspects which must be discussed in details, and the farmers they must be empowered to speak about this, not just to provide the data and expect that they will get something. Because again, what I see, that these guys who have developed the solution, they have like 1 month of free of charge, and then they just started to charge so much fee for their processing of specific for bringing specific results, that for farmer it's not viable at all, not profitable at all to use the same service. And this is like the situation when he actually gave the data and then he even not using this service because the fee is too high. So this is the ethical point which I want to mention. And if you work with farmers, please empower them to speak on their rights, farmers' rights.
Those data rights has been a huge issue in Canada, as it has been in many other parts of the world. Yurii, did you want to?
Yeah, I want to just jump in and ask a quick question. Maryna and her team been working on AI and computer vision for agriculture since 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Maryna, do you have any advice for early stage startups who want to implement AI technology in agriculture?
Yes, thank you so much, Yurii. It's an interesting question, because I think I wish to have this advice many years ago in 2014.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the main thing is quite ordinary one, to speak with people and not just read books. This is the challenge, because sometimes, especially in current world, when we have so big flow of information, it's just very easy just to sit in your four walls with one window and just read and think that, oh, I know how to solve it, I will do this, and yes, I can create it and even develop some MVP. But the challenge is that real people exist over there outside. So you just need to go to real farmers. If not go, just Zoom call with them, or just you need to speak with those who will use your technology, not just those who are even ready to invest. Even conversations with investors are very good, because they can inspire you to work. But again, the good investors, they are asking first, how many real world customers do you have? And the second question from them is, how many paying customers do you have? So that's why all the roads need to go to the farm, to the orchard, to greenhouse, where your customer works.
Right. You had more questions, Yurii, I think?
One more question from my side would be how to make AI responsible, but I guess Maryna mentioned about that regarding data ownership, and that's truly a uprising issue in AI world.
And Yurii, I also want to add, just it's on behalf of the companies which are solution providers, they are developing these AI technologies, just a little bit more transparency, because the more transparent is the relationship the better is the result. So that's why you need to speak about, yes, if you are charging farmer for this high fee, you need to explain that, no, I'm not just buying, I don't know, BMW to have in my garage. No, I just want to process your data faster using GPU, not CPU. And that's why the cost is faster, but you will get your outcome quicker as well. So this is the economical reasoning for price. So I believe this level of transparency, explaining how it works, why it's such number and not that number, it brings more credibility.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
great.
Maryna, we're
That's
just
100%
about
true.
the end of our. Oh, go ahead, Yurii. Please.
No, I was just saying that
Sure.
100% true, and transparency is super important in those type of projects.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I think as we're wrapping up here, Maryna, and thank you for we talk about transparency. You shared so much with our audience. I think it's tremendous. But as you look forward, and just if you could briefly just say, if there's one trend that you see for AI in agriculture, what do you think is the most important thing people should be paying attention to?
I think that the most important trend, AI should not stay on the high price level, and AI should be affordable. All these magical things which are available now for customers with deep pockets must be affordable for those who are actually growing food for the world. I mean, Global South currently needs these technologies, and this is the trend to help Global South to be more productive in growing food for the world.
Right. Well, and I think that there's a lot of infrastructure like artificial intelligence that needs to be used, and I think society as a whole, if we're going to meet the challenge of moving to 9 billion people on the planet and feeding them with good diets, are going to have tools in the toolbox like AI, and it has to be at an affordable level. And obviously, often technology, the longer it's in process, the less costly it becomes, and let's hope that occurs with AI as well. So, Yurii, do you have a closing comment?
For sure. Thank you for sticking around. We've started our second season of Digital Ag Global. We will get back to you in September with the next episode, great guests, and more engaging topics. So stay tuned for updates on our LinkedIn page, and make sure to follow Maryna, her work, and her company on LinkedIn as well. Thank you, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you
for the opportunity.
Thank you, Maryna. And I think if you made citation of a number of different papers that I think are quite important. And with your permission, if people would like to access those, we can provide those citations. Okay. And just because I know that, that you only scratched the surface of the great work you've done in this area. So, all right. Well, everybody should stay in tune, stay in touch with Cultivate and Digital Ag Global pages to see what's coming next. And so have a great day, everyone around the world, and all our audience in DAG. Thanks a lot, Maryna.